Well, if you are new here at Trinity, welcome. We consider you a guest. Before our sermons here on the weekends, we have what's called a Worldview segment. And the reason we have a Worldview segment is we believe here at Trinity, we are a spiritual intersection where moral, cultural, social, political, economic issues collide with biblical truth. We base this on a verse of scripture out of the Old Testament, 1 Chronicles 12:32, where it says, the sons of Issachar had wisdom regarding the times in which they lived, and they knew what they should do. We believe Christians today need to be able to discern the times in which they live for two reasons. We believe you should be informed to know how to pray so that you can be, number two, empowered to act, to actually do something about what's happening in our world. And I want to talk to you about China's social credit system and how it is coming to the United States of America. Back in 2014, China had been experimenting with technology-enabled social engineering frameworks called social credit systems. And what this did is they gave every citizen 1,000 credit points. Based on how you behave, determine whether those credits increased or decreased. For example, if you ate on public transport, they would decrease. They would take credits away from you. If you failed to recycle, they would take credits away from you. So these 1,000 credits would go up or down. If they went up, it allowed greater opportunity for you within that society to function. Now, this sounds like a great system. It's a genius idea if you're a communistic, totalitarian, socialistic dictatorship, or if you're an underground criminal organization. That cannot work in a sovereign nation where people have individual freedoms, and yet it's coming to America. This concept of social credit or social acceptance being monitored and managed by technology is happening in America right now. According to Carol Roth, who is an author and a social commentator, she says this: there is an evolution to social credit, which starts with cancel culture, moves into an informal state-adjacent system, and eventually becomes a full-blown state-run system like the Chinese are building out. These social credit initiatives come for your freedoms, including your wealth. They attack your social standing and access as well as your livelihood and your assets. So during the COVID-19 era, these social credit-enabled attacks were out in full force in the United States of America and in China. For example, if you didn't take the vaccine, if you didn't wear a mask, you found yourself ridiculed on social media. Many states actually promoted that your family should not allow you to be a part of Thanksgiving or Christmas celebrations if you were not vaccinated. Furthermore, you weren't allowed to even enter a restaurant. And if you did, you had to wear the mask. So the objective was clear. You were labeled socially unacceptable if you did not comply. And that's just the beginning. The Biden administration actually issued an executive order during that period of time which coerced businesses into taking jobs away from thousands of individuals who did not comply with their vaccine orders. Many of those first responders were heroes and essential workers just months earlier. Moreover, if you were in the field of science or medicine and you had thoughts that conflicted with the anointed narrative of the government and social media, they tried to cancel you and your credibility to where you would lose your job. Some people in our own community lost their jobs. In this same context, the state tried to silence nonconformists as well as canceling their jobs. Recent details out of Twitter and Facebook have shown and proven that the government worked with these platforms to remove information and people which conflicted with the narrative they were pushing. For example, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg once claimed Facebook had suppressed, get this, 18 million posts that contain so-called misinformation about COVID-19. So in short, if you did not comply, social credit or social acceptance was coming for you. In Canada, the truckers participating in the Freedom Convoy found their bank accounts frozen, and then a US-based tech platform that was used to raise money for these truckers complied with the Canadian government's wishes and removed the fundraiser from its platform. Another platform which took its place was hacked, and if you had donated to the truckers, your identity was made public. That was another clear effort to shame and harass you. So the formalization of such a state social credit system requires two steps. Number one, first, the government, state, local entities need to gather information about individuals. Secondly, to use that information without your consent and to use that information without ever being challenged. I have a couple of links to thehill.com, Fox News. You can Google and you could further educate yourself as to the tentacles of this social credit system reaching throughout the United States of America. Stay aware, stay alert.